and then we're going to be on break for a tiny bit extra, as Sithical, being a solo DM for this project, needs to try and focus on some aspects of things and planning and whatnot. Meanwhile, yeah.
Bitch.
Who even are you?
Diago fucking Dulos.
But, yeah. We're gonna be teleporting out, like, whenever. And then we're gonna be going on that little break. And then we're gonna be coming back with a bit of a time skip. I might redesign Mithrin. But at the same time, I really like his current design. And it's just, ugh. We are going to be getting some new spells. We are going to get some summon demon spells and some other variables and stuff like that. So, yeah, we have a lot to work towards right now. Mithrin right now is very minimal.
Hey God, I don't think I... Oh wait, there's no here.
The most that might happen is some minor PvP. I don't plan on... Honestly, I have too much for the group to try and kill me right now. That's kind of my main thing with Mithrin, is that he provides a lot for the group. But, you know. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention was that, unfortunately, due to the fact of the time where Mithrin appeared, we showed up right at the end of Act 1. So that means that these 3 episodes have been the summary of a bunch of fucking stuff. Or, is it? I think it's 2. I think I might have fucked up the naming, how I named the session. I'll fix that later. But, yeah. The issue now is that a lot of the cast that appeared is the undead that showed up the other day, or that attacked us last session. Mithrin understands that they weren't in control, but he's still fucking annoyed by it. But maybe at the same time there's more to loot, more to try and do. Did you actually see anything, or were you just shooting for the sake of shooting?
I didn't realize the cards were the up, unfortunately.
Understood.
We might have been down here talking shit, actually, because we weren't sure.
Now we're kind of
I don't know if is it? I thought that they were
I
up
don't know,
because it was.
mildly shit posting in character. It's kind of, we're kind of leewaying into it, to be honest.
That's
I'm just
fair.
practicing my fucking voice.
They're practicing British. I'm practicing Theo. We're kind of just like shit talking, getting into character. Getting
I'm
our
just going to
accents
go
back.
back up then.
Yes,
There
go
you go,
back to
enjoy
your
the throne.
throne.
Oh. Okay. What else is there here? Already destroyed that, so there's no use in trying to complain about everything else. Holy shit, Garg. Oh, the poor sod. Ugh. Didn't even die in a good spot. Such a shame. Yes, the strange bird.
Mithrin.
Hello. Is there anything that you need?
Oh, offering services now, are we?
No.
That you reign upon this domain.
I'm not calling
Blood
myself...
and stone.
Oh, as if I'd want to reign upon this area. I was just sitting up there for an actual seat rather than the corpses that are in the dining hall, and I believe from the stench of it, this stench that's over in the library as well. I don't want to sit on the rock because I feel like that. Did we not just fight on it? I'm certain that there's more blood if we were just to sit there.
Likely so. That's fair. Honestly, you don't blame you. Would have done the same if it weren't up, well, another flight of stars.
Of course. Do you know if the Lich dealt with the living corpses? Or whatever we are going to call that entire room?
I do not believe so. He was too busy bathing in his triumphs.
Of course. And I see that she's there. I have no idea where the Lich is still, but...
Unsure. How are you faring, all things considered, after our rather harrowing encounter?
I feel quite fine. There were some injuries, but they've slowly healed by now.
Quite a convenient thought.
Luckily for I, yes. One of the few good things Father has ever done.
Understood. Feeling a tad drained myself, but could be much worse, I suppose. Made much less so by the healing endeavours of our companions. That I'm quite thankful for.
Yes, quite impressive healers that we have.
Yes.
Especially to recover a group our size in that quick of a time.
Quite true. I have a feeling I should have directed some of my studies more down that angle, now that I think about it.
Yes,
Beyond
indeed,
the scope
but
of my alchemy, there's very little that I have that could assist in such matters. Never saw the reason.
to be fair, you didn't expect to go into a war against the Dark Lord. Or at least you
Not
weren't
quite.
born thinking that.
Certainly not. Was thinking I would very much be spending my days up at the manor, the coven, residing there. But things take unexpected turns.
Of course. Is he alright? I don't recall your name.
I'm alive, if that's the question.
Yes, I was just making sure you didn't bleed out while sitting down.
I've already received healing. What you see is just
The filth.
the leftover blood.
Yes.
Yes. Necromancer's not exactly known for having any washing stations around, so...
Oh, of course.
Seems like our undead friends are doing well.
Especially one as disgusting as
At
this.
least physically.
Odd. I imagine with some there may be a degree of unease.
Thanks,
what
Your
transpired.
Highness.
Are you all okay?
About as expected.
Still breathing? Can give you that much.
Lich, just checking. Did you deal with the living mound of whatever's in that room, or did you just let it be?
It's also wrong. There's nothing I could do to it. However, I did discover interesting in the library. All of it relates to some sort of research dedicated to reverse all the downsides to casting spells.
Yes.
There's mention of a lost school magic. A magic school that has been unnamed. Older than all of us, but it has no name yet.
Has no name. Most curious.
No.
What all do you know?
Yes.
This may be something their pursuit of study.
I'm not sure.
First notes that I read whenever I skimmed was torn and tear-riddled.
I also discovered the corpse of an open woman.
Curious.
In a coffin, wrapped in cloth. Covered in markings similar to the totem behind that throne.
Oh.
Possibly a ritual link. Was it familiar to you? Was the body familiar to you, Lich?
No, I do not recognize her.
I see.
I was hoping maybe some of you might recognize her.
It's worth a look.
Or decipher the
Sorry.
markings.
Do precisely that. I have suspicions.
If it was-
As you've stated.
If it was a similar...
Bother.
Runes on a body in Necromancer's lair. Likely trying to make some magical construct.
Either that or
Zombie.
possible link.
Give it incredible strength of runes.
If it's the same that was on the totem that was
I'm fine. Thank you.
causing the mass madness of the undead across the nation. We'll have to figure it out if you wish to research it, at least for a moment.
Yes, it's worth looking into, I suppose. Also, how together I am at the time, but yes. Sorry, blood, scars, and mental trauma.
And the two undead are still...
Yes.
Right here. I don't recognize her. But she's been preserved.
Unfamiliar to I.
Were you capable to decipher the markings from the tomb?
I don't read runes.
Tomb.
At least not well.
If your room is going to be clean, you'd better make sure there's no such thing as stairs.
Did you speak with Laura?
A tad. I told her she's strong, but she's not feeling strong. Physically, she'll only be manageable, but mentally, her mind is wavering.
I don't dare to resurrect
But that is for the entirety of the undead, correctly?
Curious! They didn't think to revive this? Maybe they actually are foolish.
What purpose does she have for the totem? This totem is what caused all the undead to go crazy. What does she fit in this?
I'll copy down
That's some
Marcus.
collection.
Don't have
If
access
she's
to
not
the
familiar
library,
to you, then maybe she's someone who was aggressive after you leaving.
could have been
For
loved
someone
more.
to have magic as strong as the necromancer did, as skilled as they probably are, you need some way to displace the backlash. It's just a
Not
guarantee
possible.
with
They
magic
make books
strong.
that tiny.
Perhaps she is some sort of
Why would you make books? You can barely even read.
You can read. That surprises me.
I'm far too familiar with that. I know how to conduct such
Hmm.
arrangements. I have been subject to such experiences. If it is the case, I should be able to return.
Aren't you the more surprising one?
I don't think that you understand how lords work. We need to read so we're able to communicate. We're supposed to write so we're able to do the exact same.
Yet when it comes to anyone of lower, they're just tossed to the gutter.
It is not our responsibility to always teach that. We need others to do such. We can't run the nations and teach and everything else on top of it at all times.
If
And
you
it-
are the voice of the people, you
Lich.
must also help the people, no matter high or low.
Do you think that your ex-allies were foolish enough not to resurrect this? I think that this would have been giving us more issues than anything else.
If you're referring to the necromancer, he's no longer an ally.
I said ex-ally for a reason, after all. The necromancer, do you think that he'd be a fool to not resurrect this, give us a undead dragon to fight? Or do you think that there's more to the story on this
Are you
one?
mad?
It is missing most of its body. Resurrection will be difficult.
Ah, is that the case for a resurrection?
Or perhaps this was resurrected before it has
What
perished.
use of a pile of bones would do? It doesn't
Undead
have
with a lantern, watch out.
lungs or anything.
Or at least
My
something
guess
with
is
a
that this was
lantern.
once resurrected.
Watch out.
perished, It can no longer be resurrected again. Undead can only be resurrected once.
Oh, you're fucking right.
Some things with a lantern. Be careful.
was found?
Something's here with a lantern wandering around.
He's an ally of ours. He does not speak. He's mute.
Big guy, as he's been dubbed. He's a close
Understood.
compatriot of Jackseth's.
Understood.
He's on, but more than useful.
Never saw him before, so I thought that is one of the undead's things crawling about.
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what he is, to be honest. Keeps his cards close to himself.
Yep.
Welcome to the party.
I'm not sure why. But I do know that he's a companion of Jack's.
Oh, right, it's that one. I forgot. The
You've
darkness has
dubbed him
made you
big
look
guy.
different.
If you need to give him a title, he seems to mostly respond to it.
Executioner's hood. Strange.
Well, he does execute pretty well. A lot of mysteries to him, and obviously you couldn't exactly ask him why. No reason to pry. Being useful to us. The best thing we can do right now is probably to get any more treasure out of this trove.
Oh, as if that
If there's
madman
any
had any.
artifacts, magic items,
Where's the corpse?
It would be a
if we
good
find
idea.
anything,
Fair enough, fair enough.
I would at least feel like we got anything out of this, then
Then they aren't heroes.
Yes. How familiar are you in the arts of the arcane, if you do not mind my asking?
Ah,
I'm mostly just a chanter. It's all I really understand. It's something of a language, so I guess I know.
not even any
It's a
proper
very
silverware.
I think the only
Cutlery.
folk can do.
Just cleavers and
Understood.
knives.
If I have need of your assistance in such things, should I be allowed to peruse the knowledge that we acquired here? I will certainly ask for assistance in such.
Ah,
A man as few here have spent as much time poring over odd arcane books.
no. Whatever is there for us to do? Ah.
Fuck is this?
Something I destroyed the other day. The sigil that caused the spell to continue casting. From what I can tell, or at least can theorize, that due to the runes embedded on that corpse, it was linked to that. The backlash that would have been casted through the necromancer was applied to that instead. Killing the man or woman and making them whatever else with that. Possibly even as we walk, we have their souls spinning around us right now, listening in on every little conversation.
How do you feel about the dead coming back?
And they should stay down. At least most. If they willingly did so, then let them be. If they were forced to it, let them rest again.
It's quite interesting for you to say that, knowing what your upbringing currently is.
Oh, yes. But clearly, I don't think that you can read people that well, or understand them either. So I'll let you learn how before I have to explain everything about myself to you. I said it once and I'll say it again. You really haven't given me any reason to actually tell you much beyond what I needed to.
And you have reason to give me any reason to trust you.
Yes, trying to save your lives definitely didn't do that. Assisting you and telling you how to adjust, or how to we're up against and what the goal is, definitely didn't either.
We are currently in the time of age where betraying is most common.
Yes, I am more
Using
than
others.
aware.
Due to your father.
Yes, I'm more than aware.
So then out of anyone, you should know that I would be cautious and tell
And I
you
respect
others
it.
about
Yet you choose to be aggressive instead of cautionary. Do you know what happens whenever you try to act aggressive to someone that is supposed to be behind your back? Usually they keel over and let you act as such, lowers your guard so they can stab you in the back. I still act as myself instead, showing a bit more of my confidence, showing a bit more that I'm not willing to just keel over and let you all get away with whatever you wish with me.
Of course, you don't see it about how others might be perceiving you.
Yes.
You're the Dark Lord's kid. You worked with him, and now you're not.
Yes, indeed.
Anyone can feel that you'll just easily stab them in the back the moment your father shows his head.
As if he will. He still has his priorities with a different thing for the next while.
With those angelic things?
Angelic things, whatever do you mean? The only angel that appeared hasn't been seen since his battle with it.
Not what I've seen.
Really now? Do you care to elaborate then?
They've been caged before and will be again.
Yes, so is everyone, so is everything. Everything's only a matter of time until people get put back into some sort of cage.
Hey, little prince. Genuine question. I thought you didn't want to be stepping around on this stuff.
I stepped over it.
Yeah, but your shoes. Not you'd care. Keeping up appearances.
Yes, the boots are the thing that you worry about. Not the pants or clothes or anything else. Just the boots now.
Funny little prince.
Go on. I'm going to try to look around for something proper.
To be honest, I should probably stick around you in case a certain someone hears about your origin.
Oh, who would that be?
Most people like to call him the leader, but he is not to me. Not yet.
Ah, you're acting as if I'm not able to hold my own ground.
No, but I worry about what he will do once he hears.
Oh, but of course, that's... if you're that fearful, then why don't you try and break the ice yourself, especially after you
It's
tried
not
to threaten me
fearful.
such and so forth. For the birthdays I've been present.
If it was fear, then I would be actually doing something against it. But I only know that you, possibly dying, could alert him. I
Oh,
don't want
yes.
anyone else to have to deal with him.
I don't doubt they had a rune or two dedicated to that. It does sound like something he would have done without alerting me.
Therefore, don't let you get killed.
And yet you were fearful of someone else being two-faced.
That sword truly hates you.
I'm using it to pick around. It's starting to like me more after I saved however many souls were controlled by the necromancer. But still quite difficult.
So if you do good, then the sword will like you.
Yes, the Blade of Truths, how it called itself. Or at least the man that I killed for it did.
Whom was this man?
A hero of prophecy. Right towards my father's, as a rule, there was a small party of people that were dedicated, true-hearted to try and defeat him. An oracle even told them that they would. They nearly did, actually. I guess the oracle said that they would be able to defeat my father, but they only fought me instead of him.
Seeing as the dead do not stay dead, it's possible.
Oh yes, of course. A group of people that had their bodies melted before my eyes. A group of people that I watched be massacred. Did you not hear what the Lich said? My father is quite paranoid whenever it comes to some details such as that, and he made sure that there would be no chance of resurrection. Nothing short of divinity wouldn't be able to be done to bring it back.
You're a weird prince. From a weird family.
Is that all that you're going to be saying over and over again? How strange I am.
Yep.
Oh, of course. Yet I have a feeling that the moment that I'm able to point out that you are a weird individual who came from what I can only assume is some strange tribe out in the middle of nowhere, with a strange mask and a strange axe, that axe will be pointed at my neck. You've done nothing more than be annoying and show that you are more tribal than anything serious.
I seem tribal. I take that as a compliment.
Of course you do.
If you want a copper for your thoughts, I seem more tribal because of what your father did.
Of course, I have a feeling that I'm going to be hearing that a lot more.
Well, we fooled you to a king, but that's a very treacherous job.
You good?
I'm fine.
Looks like we'll need to get you a new mask.
Perhaps.
I think I can circumvent that cost. However, if it does come to that, I will warn you, another. There will be a price to be paid further down the road.
What does that mean? What does it mean here? This is my your eternal servant.
No
This
one,
for me that you can pull on.
no undead is my servant. Only if they choose to be. All undead deserve some second chance of life, freedom.
Can you grab a hold of me though? If you know what I'm doing. If
No,
you bring me back from the dead, can you do anything to stop me from doing something else?
no. I do not know how the necromancer is capable of driving an undead mad.
I'll come back from the dead and go for your blacksmith. The only way you can stop me is through your weapon.
I suppose.
I think
All life deserves a second chance,
Some old man.
which is why I offer.
No, it doesn't. Not all right.
The dead should stay dead. You have seen what this has done now. Your people have cried because of it.
His people are an entire culture born upon being brought back from the dead. I mean, the dead should stay dead. We're gonna have to basically genocide the entire continent.
I was able to undo that. If you were to go behind the throne, there's a large green pillar, or at least what was green. Struck it down due to the runes on it being the reason why souls were unchained to their body. So fortunately, we may see some more insane ones, but at least they're free from the necromancer. 300 years being outside of your body would be enough to drive almost anything and anyone insane.
Are people like this? You better,
And with
once
Mr.
all
fucking
of this is over,
Vanishing King
find
over
a better
here.
way for your people to be free
Can't imagine he'll be too happy seeing us all.
and still live.
Indeed.
No magic
What the
harm their
necromancer
body.
did is a spell unknown to me.
This bastard really tested on just about anything that would move.
No life, no one.
Honestly, I'm surprised that they didn't keep the body of that one around. At least that would have been putting up a better fight than whatever armed soldiers that they had.
If I had to guess,
Maybe it's foreign. Something
likely fused it with
from a different
himself.
plane or some
What in
shit?
doubt it?
Whatever it was isn't exactly human, elven, dwarven. I mean, I don't know what the fuck we were looking at that was actually causing that magic, but it wasn't natural.
Indeed.
If they do not, they believe their body be so that they may rest in peace.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I understand necromancy all too well, or any magic for that matter.
While given the opportunity to combat alive.
But I've got a feeling that bastard was using some of this to make himself, I don't know, stronger.
Mm,
Picking parts he liked,
right.
playing dress up of his own flesh.
With the madness and such that's here, I wouldn't put it beyond them.
About our little prince situation.
And yet, all of these books are useless still. All soul magic and nothing actually useful.
Not realizing you doesn't know, does he?
No.
Everything that seems useful is all torn apart.
His death
How to undo backlashes. Yet you tear apart the pages.
I suspect they
Clearly they didn't actually wish to try and do anything.
care how much. We will see.
I didn't want to share the knowledge.
If that was the case, we would have had much more of a fight.
they
Being able to cast magic without backlashes would be
do it.
nearly impossible to defeat.
No, we've had someone that could. We could
Really now. Oh, I assume the Dark Paladin. I forget his name. Ah, yes.
Fucking knows it.
Reverse,
It's a complex way of doing it.
reverse
It's
pacts.
expensive.
Quite expensive.
So you're not
The amount
gonna
of
tell
slaves
him?
he must have bought, the people he's killed trying to fight us only to lose. Not something your everyday man can do.
Indeed.
Hey, did that lady in the coffin look at any familiar to you? The Lich King himself was asking.
No fucking clue.
Just an elf.
Elf lady.
She seems older than almost all of us put together. The only ones that aren't that age, the only ones that would have been able to recognize her would be I, the Lich, and anyone else our age.
Yeah. Unfortunately for everyone else, I'm only a measly 27. Quite young.
You're 27?
Yeah.
Gosh, you are a kid.
Maybe in wherever the fuck you are, I'm sure.
No, she's just strange.
Human.
And as you are weird, little prince.
Well, he gets a title, does he?
Yes, she enjoys giving people nicknames. Quite obnoxious ones.
Does. You get Little Prince, though.
Great one.
So why
at
is he
that.
Little Prince?
Heritage. Simple as.
Done.
Dwarven book. Is that? No. Just simply the size of a dwarf.
You're able to read that tiny book?
Yes.
It's tiny.
Yes, how else do you keep a grimoire in your pocket?
Why would you keep a book in your pocket?
Simple as remembering incantations, assisting in such. A folk eye for magic.
Very useful.
Or if you are one or two of the remaining kind of religious, possibly final prayers before you die. For this case, it just seems like soul magics. Of course, soul magics. Can't it be something other than soul magics?
Souls.
A relief, calm, so you both may rest in peace.
It will not be. Really.
In this business, I don't think so.
No worry, not for me as well. But thank you for the thoughts, at least.
Of course.
Your Highness, I would ask one thing actually. How familiar are you with other forms of undeath? Vampiric in
My
nature.
mind is not the same as it was before. But I can only guess just some of it. I do not know if what I remember is all of it or some of it is missing. Such a surprise for coming back from the dead. Only from my
Understand.
case.
If you come back from the dead, you forget some shit. I guess I better start writing some notes.
Just in case, huh?
Do not worry. Me for coming back from the dead as an elder lich pays a heavy, heavy price. Come back again.
I'm sure. I might wish to speak to you regarding certain things later. I also have some research that might benefit the undead in our company. I will let you know.
Actually, if you bring someone back your way, do I become a ghoul or something? My flesh gonna start peeling off?
Excuse me.
No, it depends on how recent your death is. If you die,
Right.
and moments after, if you've been dead for only for moments, everything about you will remain intact. But the longer you stay dead, the more you lose of yourself.
I will warn you, however, many men have gone insane in trying to find the secret to true necromancy. As I'm certain you're aware, Jackson.
True revivals.
To think about
Which is why I limit necromancy to just second chances. I believe all life is the circumstance of life. Death is natural. I only wish for life to be preserved just for a little longer. Not everlasting.
At the minimum, Snowball, give you that.
Well, that's the same.
Michelle,
That's
there are other
also
forms of
twisted.
comeback from the dead that isn't require necromancy.
Wait,
There is vampires as well.
do you require a mana pool to bring them back from the dead?
It does require a lot of mana.
From the person?
No,
Do they
from
Mana
me.
comes in a pool.
But recovering all the rest of the mana.
People have a lot of ways of saying it. As the weave, the way it flows through your body, mana pools, the amount you have. I have an unnaturally low amount of mana. Born with it. Just next to none. Enough to allow me to live. But I'm not casting fucking anything, basically. So if you need some of that shit to bring me back, then good luck. It's gonna be difficult.
Curious.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll do what I can.
Since when do manas come from pools? I thought mana was just something part of people. Or some
Yes.
It needs a
weird
pool
wizard
filled
shit.
with mana.
No, that's not what. Oh, Lord Lich, you're even.
Of witches and warlocks for quite some time.
Mind, the both of you. I'll let you both figure that out yourself.
Ruling council that belongs
I know, little prince. Do indulge.
It's simple as. As water flows, so does mana. So it pools inside the body. It gathers inside of yourself to allow you to cast.
buried beneath stone.
The mana pool is one way to phrase it, as it, once again, it collects inside of you. Or there's other situations of that. Other ways to phrase it.
Oh, so it's just blood.
No!
That magic blood.
No, that's not at all what it is.
Magic blood. Got it.
You have any right to live on this earth is questioned only by I.
In your case, thankfully it didn't.
No. I do need to be sorry. I could have acted smarter. Could have tried to do something
How?
better in that situation.
I could have done it better than it already went down.
Don't fault
There's
yourself.
nothing for you to do other than keep us at bay until you dealt with that lich. There's nothing you could have done better in that situation than what you've already done. I would have beat yourself over it.
Alright. Now of all times, I should try to keep my sound. None of us should. Well, lucky nobody actually died going through this. I'll try to let it be a reminder of the future. Understanding the weaknesses some of our members have and how the others could overcome it. As a group, we all pick ourselves up.
Good.
Make up for the faults of the others.
Yeah.
Everyone here is a valuable member of ours. The very fact that any of us have decided to go on this blatantly suicidal journey is an achievement of itself.
What do you
So
think?
what's your reason then?
Everyone has faults.
But which one would you count?
Look, we now know that some of us are more susceptible to control than others. We're lucky nobody was permanently scathed through it, at least physically. Be better about it next time. We all have our positions in a party and what we need to do.
Positions.
I
What's
obviously
yours,
am going to be the heaviest hitter in this party. Others make up for that. We all have our roles. We all have the things we're bad at. We all have things we're good at. We all make up for it by helping each other. This is what I mean by sorry, because we knew exactly what we were coming into, fighting a necromancer. This outcome is something that we should have been able to think of. And then we rushed headlong into something.
I suppose that I think I'll be more prepared for the future if you encounter another fight.
Let's look through all of this. I doubt many of us have been taking this whole thing the most serious. And I can't exactly blame you. I still laugh at myself sometimes, thinking what I'm actually doing every day when I wake up. But I want to believe there's a real chance for success at the end of this road. And I want us to act wiser in the future. Act as a cohesive group, formulate plans, make rules, try and mitigate the chances of all this dying.
Well, if you want to go cohesive group, you have to make the rounds, get to know everybody, I suppose.
That's the idea. And you can't exactly just put on a great speech and immediately get everyone on my side of things. As I'm sure you have your own deals, reasons why you're here. You have to take this seriously, I suppose. I know it's asking for a lot. This is hardly something that feels doable in the first place. So I'm still trying to really take this all seriously. This was borderline as attempt at suicide for me.
In a way, mine as well.
Sorry, I feel like I'm being a bit critical after all that's happened. At the end of the day, we're all alive. And I'm thankful that everyone is still here.
Yeah. If that's how you feel, no one can fault you for it.
I guess just let it be known I want to see none of you die. Why? I care about this journey.
Was you cut me down with?
That pinkish flame, right?
Should I expect repercussions from it?
No, not on any of you. That is my decision that I made, and for me to reap. purpose in facing those consequences. Yeah, and I'm sorry to make any of you ever had to feel the rend of that flame. It won't ever happen again. I swear it.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I promise I'll keep it. I know it's foolish in this era to make such a dealing. But if there's anything that I wanted to believe I have any value with, that's a man of my word. My word is about all I have left.
Oh, God. So sappy. Just tell them that you don't wish to kill them, and if they choose not to believe you, then...
I suppose I won't repeat myself with sorries to meet point of buts. I guess if it's something that either of you need to hear, thank you for being here.
Curious thing, those runes.
Oh, did you
Did you
research
get a look
them?
at them?
Yes, I slashed a few of them. Anything interesting on them?
Means a lot to me.
Unsure. Did copy down on the inscriptions, just in case for looking over later.
Would be good to try
My
and
mind is a bit
figure it all
fuzzy
out.
at the moment.
I'd be more
Yes, no doubt.
surprised if it was all there after all of that dungeon diving and whatnot.
Yes, I think so. Well, that gives me concern.
It sounds like they are worried that we are going to target them now that all happened. I could misunderstand it all, but it just seems foolish to some extent to worry about.
I agree.
Unless
Start with
someone...
is dealt with.
Indeed. Unless they did it of their own volition, we shouldn't have to worry about them at all.
I would agree. I've seen similar magics used on the living as well. We're not all immune to such
Indeed.
manipulations.
Indeed. It was just us being foolish enough not to expect it as we went delving into a powerful mage's house. Someone that, as we can read, only focused on soul magics.
Quite true. Have you, trying to think of a way to put this. It doesn't sound too great. Damn it. Whatever. How are the vampires faring? Are their doubts clouded?
I haven't
they fear
communicated with her
outcomes?
since.
I
Or
see.
do you mean as a vampires fare after that, or as a general thing?
Okay, I'll be honest. I was asking in general, but I'm more interested in one in particular.
Oh, of course. I haven't spoken to her, if that's what you're going to be asking.
Yes. Been keeping my distance.
Well, if you wish to break said distance, she just went up to the library.
Yes, you did.
She seems more afraid of us rather than the other way around, if that is to put some influence in your choice.
Yes, that would actually.
Her and the pirate both seem to be just avoiding the living.
I might have potentially overstepped certain bounds. Sometimes vampires make it a very solid point, not to feed upon allies or similar.
Oh, but of course, it would make sense. I recall a small group of them my father and I spoke to once. They promised not to feed on us because they could go too far if they don't keep their minds steady. Of course, we weren't going to offer in the first place, but still, nonetheless, it was a cautionary tale for me to remember.
Yes, I'm rather familiar with that myself. I had a concoction I gave to the newcomer, the pirate. Should be distilled enough that likely she won't acquaint such with myself, even though it was partially made from my own blood.
Oh, is she also a
For
vampire?
Lorelei, however, yes, she was on the ground moaning and groaning and crying for blood. So I gave her that. I'd originally given it to Lorelei.
And I take it she rejected that.
No, I presented it for the other vampire. Lorelei I managed myself.
Understood.
If I were to do such, I would prefer to do so with someone I trust. And although we've only been together a short while, all of us here,
At least you're able to have something to trust in that.
foolishness is probably what it is.
Possibly. Who would I be to decide that instead of you?
I suppose I rather already came to those conclusions myself in a way. You know, when we see something happen that reminds us very much of little bits of our past, we wish sometimes went a little differently.
Is that so?
It becomes hard not to act in ways that, at the core of it, might be degrade selfish, but I would rather not have one of our company perish.
But of course. Along with that, as you call it, selfish. The very wish to exist is selfish in some shape or form. I wouldn't consider saving someone else selfish.
Quite true. Quite true. And hopefully the rest of our compatriots warm up to you a bit. After that, we did all fight side by side.
The large one still seems to complain. The others haven't really changed, if I can tell at all. Possibly they forgot, or possibly they just don't care. I forget her name still. But she is quite paranoid in the fact of, if I were to die, then my father would appear over my body and start killing everything around.
That seems a bit absurd.
Indeed. At most, you might be aware of my falling, due to a rune or two that I'm unaware of, but still, I don't think that I'd suddenly appear over my corpse.
No offense to you, but I imagine he'd probably view that as an unfortunate and brief distraction and get back on to whatever he was doing.
I don't even
Anything
think
at all
that
like
much.
my matriarch was.
At most, I think that he'd be focused for a moment, see a change, and then continue his damn way up to the Ascended Ones.
Yes. Ambition's a hell of a thing, I suppose.
Indeed.
You said you saw her head up the stairs.
At least I did a moment ago.
Back
It could be a bit behind. Yes, of course. It's almost as if the person that used to live here floated everywhere.
I've severely fucked up in my magical studies. I should have angled things a bit differently.
I believe I see her right there if you're looking for Lorelei still.
Yes. I suppose I'll try and have a chat. As well as that might go.
Understood.
If she tells me to fuck off, then I will simply do that.
The best of luck then. I'll probably stick
you.
around here, maybe wander around somewhere else further down here. Lest our mysterious voice decides to pluck us from this tomb already.
As I imagine that might happen at some point, yes.
Hmm.
We're all waiting with bated breath to find out what miserable place we're going to be dumped.
Oh, I guarantee that we get plucked into some soul realm or something of the sorts. Ugh.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Very
My
much.
poisonous swamp.
Oh, because we haven't had enough poisons or swamps.
Yes.
Where did everyone else go?
Not sure.
Where did everyone go? Oh, well, some of them up there. No. Oh, great heavens. Of course, they're all up here.
As a more theologic person would say, maybe it was divine fate what brought you. I suppose that's why we are all here to begin with. This group was made by an ascended one. I didn't exactly choose to be here, though none of us are bound here either.
I suppose not.
They're all brought together in some city
Wait.
of Kylo. The original founding.
Oh, dear. So an ascended one, you say?
Yes.
Of course, they'd try and find themselves here the moment that they start getting threatened. Ugh. Boring
The
them.
moment that left the threatened, that Hogwarts room's been going for some
Enjoying the
time.
crumbled thrones, are we?
I'm not saying that
Thank
the
you,
realm
Classic
was.
Those.
They couldn't
This is
care
my
about
home.
us. What they clearly care about is the realm that they call home. The moment that they are under threat, in the slightest way, they start trying to make us do their bidding. Sounds exactly
Very
like
sudden
them.
Reach out.
Not really solid.
Yes,
Be
if
honest,
you
you're
stick
doing a very
towards the
half-assed
center,
job
it
regardless.
stays solid.
Yes, the ends are a bit loose.
Right about here is whenever it starts slipping.
You have to look over it, even with.
Can you put your damn hammer away? Or do you wish to smack us all off?
I mean, you easily could. But I really want to go falling a second time.
I'm a little too quick for him to do that, I think.
The dune is already a pile of rubble.
I know, and I'm not going to be sitting on it.
He had a big old temper
Yeah.
tantrum and smashed him to pieces.
Sounds exactly like him.
The guy did the same shit.
Yes, I don't blame him for it. I think that's a smaller amount of us that haven't done it than those that have.
Should we start making a move now to try and get out of here?
Are you not interested in the little voice in our heads trying to do it? To pluck us from this little
What
tomb?
voice?
You've heard a voice, have you?
Multiple of us have.
As
Interesting.
this all concluded, something had spoken to us. Exactly certain. Maybe it's the ascended one finally reaching out
Oh,
again after
that.
a month's departure.
I hear too many voices.
Well, if it was done with magic, probably didn't hear it. Never been great with the whole speaking in one's mind thing. Always a little bit too quiet for me. Never can quite hear them.
It's not exactly a skill.
Maybe you're just lacking in a mind.
I assume magic just doesn't usually hit him well.
Doesn't make sense.
Did the big one fall and just die? I thought they'd climb back up by
He's
now.
down there.
Ah.
Nah, he's just... works on
I'm not
instincts.
going to go look over and check, because I'd probably fall yet again.
Well, while we have this moment of composure, we should probably take us a moment to think of what to do next. This voice intends to pluck us out here, but what exactly is our next action from there?
It matters not. We need to focus on finding that tree lady.
Yes, because
You
finding
got
one...
any leads at all?
We know where it is. It's near that guy's kingdom. And seeing how we had to deal with all of this, we're not too far.
We'll
Yes.
have to find the rebels of my kingdom.
Alright,
first.
everyone.
You
Time
have
to
to
go in a
figure out
direct direction around this island. Do you wish to go north, south, or west? Because we're going to have to go through a couple 100,000 miles once we're on there.
You've got to consider as well, the certain someone that told us it was near his kingdom was a giant rock monster, maybe a little bit smaller than these statues that used to be the size of mountains. What's near for him is probably hundreds of miles for the rest of us.
Right. We at least have a
You've
rough
walked a few
idea of this
strides.
whole country, but the last one to be here was you, and I imagine it's changed quite a bit since you last saw it.
Yes.
Yes,
Chances are, I will recognize it.
since the Dark Lord destroyed everything and then he went just to leave it be, not much really happened here. Most maps probably are ruins. Still one
The
of the
question
stupidest
is,
moves of
why
him.
did he left it unattended? Why didn't he govern it? Why didn't he rule it?
I think the answer is quite obvious. The undead here aren't easy to govern. There's nothing to gain from them, along with the fact of a mad mage making them all mad. Oh yes, I'm going to roll over this pile of corpses. There's clearly something useful there. Along with that, you all were mostly a military force that he had as a worry. Beyond that, I don't think anything here would have been a threat to him.
I think a
Yes,
lot of your
as you said.
people are weird in between as well. Back when we were on his land. What, skeletons? Mindless zombies? Everything had its flesh peeled off by the time we were fighting it. Probably like his undead, completely mindless, easy to manipulate. Your people here are sort of weird in between. Semi-conscious, able to think, but still driven by rage at a king that's vanished. They can think, but they are more likely to act on emotion and instinct than anything else.
Along with that,
As
Difficult
you
to
did
deal
say,
with.
the one
the
piece of
more something's
unity,
dead, the more
you,
the mind rots.
were gone. They didn't have a banner to rally underneath, so they let themselves enter into turmoil, and the only primary source that would rival him was now gone. Nothing else to worry about beyond that. He didn't
You got a
really
point.
speak too much about why he even wanted to touch this beyond you all being annoying, actually. Don't remember most of his original plans.
I think to put it simply, he just didn't see your kingdom as very worth it. Which I'm sure you're ready to prove was a grave mistake.
He seemed to reject the entire idea of you. I imagine, in his thought process, ruling over the what's left of it would probably be an insult to himself.
I do wish to return. Maybe. I'm not sure. Coming here, being resurrected in the first place was never my idea. I wish to know why. Why was I encouraged to come back?
Sorry.
Maybe some of the survivors, either undead vampires or ones who can live that long, would be around. Maybe they might have answers. Maybe they... No.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think that anything that was alive was killed by the things that we just killed today. The bearer of bad
But we
news,
can only hope.
unless you have a small group of people powerful enough to fight against hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of undead for 400 years. And I think that you're not going to be in the brightest situation, unfortunately.
We can only hope that some have survived.
Yes, hope, hope, hope. That's going to get us everywhere.
That's all we have
Count on
left.
As someone
Don't
already
count on
said
hope.
in here, there is no hope here.
Less, there is no hope.
Just ourselves.
Only corpses and more blood to spill. Hopefully some of the souls that we freed are of their own will now. Hopefully those souls won't be maddened by the fact that they had to be outside of their body for 300 years, watching them as they tore their friends and family limb by limb, part by part, across the streets. But if they aren't, then at least we'll have some allies.
I think we can get to the idea.
To return on
Look.
the discussion before, what was it that this voice said?
The ascended one? Or the voice that had just spoken to us?
The thing that spoke to us.
I recall a mother being mentioned. That we would see her soon.
Right, the principals.
Oh, so it's the same thing we're looking for in the end.
Yeah. Keep it short, we're basically looking for every single fundamental part of this world to gain power from it. At the moment, we're looking for Mother Nature. The principle of life.
I guess that's the start.
It's a tree. I think we saw it in a dream once or something like that. Sort of perceived it in some weird vision.
These entities are sort of kept themselves a secret for most of history, but seeing as, well, the living world is kind of rotting away, I imagine they're making their presence more known in hopes of finding allies.
I know. It's only a matter of time until he burns away all of it after he goes up to the Ascended Ones and wreaks his war up there.
Fighting anything just to get something so never mind.
Don't be right back.
Family?
Anything further from this alone.
Pretty common.
Family's dead, family's dead. Can't do much about it.
We'll see. I suppose we'll see.
Well, I imagine the best we can do until Mother plucks us out of here is try to reap what we can of this whole area.
All
He
these
seemed to be a
blood
pretty
and
ancient
bones.
necromancer. He likely has something amongst you.
If anyone
If
could do us the bit,
that
They have
mother
a-
dies,
find us a
what will
fucking
occur
map,
for
even
all
if
of
it's
us?
They had a study.
If she is the
sort
very essence of
required.
life itself,
No one really understands. For most of history, this whole idea of Mother Nature and spirits are the fundamentals and all that wasn't really considered a concrete
real
thing.
thing. Just sort of a idea, something to worship, but now we know
A
it
religion,
exists.
yes.
I fucking climbed one, like a few weeks ago. Rock one, so, you know. Chances are, though,
It's
it's gonna be somewhere similar to what we dreamed, had a vision enough, whatever the fuck that was that we would put through. But it was barren, which I'm sure fucking helps so much with this ruined wasteland of a continent, but our first step should be to
have
find
to
a map,
find
especially an old one. I can't imagine the shape of the land itself has changed too much, right? I don't think the Dark Lord went around just fucking reshaping the
Did you not
continent.
look for
Why
any
not?
of those books? Was there nothing?
I haven't looked through all of them
worth a
yet.
try.
Skim through
Yep,
most of
may
it.
that be
It
the
seems
next
to be
idea.
either soul or trying to neglect backlashes. Most of it not being proper. Boring notes that we may be able to fix, may be able to sort out.
It may be in the town. Who knows? Chances are we need to find something that's gonna give us directions. At the very least, if we don't know where the fundamental of nature, Mother herself is, then maybe we can find that old coot's fucking kingdom. Seems like he had a lot of
Well,
powerful
once we find the
witches
kingdom, we
and
at least know
wizards to his
she's
command.
nearby.
So I'm thinking,
I would
some sort of
stay
safety.
straight caution on going to his kingdom. Thinking about it logically with what we had to fight today, who knows what his kingdom would be like? There might be thousands
I wish to
angry
repeat the
at
point.
his fallen king.
I wish to repeat
Likely.
the point that while most of them probably are, we don't guarantee that. It may be a risk, but if anything, just leave him out in front of the gate, while some of us else explore. We don't need him by our side at all times, do we?
No,
Oh, well, I don't know.
but if
We
any
might
of us
also
get too
celebrate his
close, and there
return.
might be another sorcerer.
Those who remained at his kingdom. Possibly fiercely loyal, 300 years of waiting. We bring him back, maybe he'll be celebrated. We're brought in as heroes, we get to relax for a bit, actually figure something out with what's left of a castle, likely not much.
There's a hope to
I
that,
mean,
but stay cautious. Luck's never on our side.
I think it would be good, though, to give Lucille and Rain at least some peace of mind to see what remains of the kingdom. You remember,
Fair
they did
point.
travel here. To them, it's only been somewhat a month since they lost the kingdom. I understand what it'd be like to at least get a sense of finale of life.
He must be accompanied alone then. He enters first, and he returns back to us. That is the only way I believe that would be smart.
I could follow along.
We don't want all of us to walk right up there and then get ourselves killed.
If anyone's not gonna be seen following him just in case shit goes down, it'll be me.
Me as well.
Watch from a distance. Make sure he doesn't get fucking jumped by a bunch of undead bastards.
It might be smart for you to stay back. I'm
Oh,
certain
yeah.
they might remember who you are.
Oh, you are correct. They might actually do that. Maybe getting a mask first would be the best decision.
You can assess the situation once we get there. Have
don't
Lucille and
think you'd
you
want to wear
scope it
mine.
out, see what it's like,
Gods no.
determine what further to do once we've arrived.
Looks at me. Feel like I'm gonna be recognized. Considering the people we've surrounded ourselves with, I'm a ripe old age at 27 and basically newborn to half of these people, so...
Fair enough.
Won't be a single face that recognizes me. Plus the mask, but, you know.
While the rest of us stay back. You scatter with him and see if there's anything of danger. Sounds like a good plan.
Rain would likely want to come
Works for
along
me.
on this too, though. She was the blacksmith of Lucille's kingdom.
That's true. She has connections. Might be worth bringing both of them back. If we start bringing back people, his actual, subjects to come alongside, might sway the people if they are angry to maybe not lash out so quickly. He's bringing back his
Fair
kingdom to
enough.
its former
As long as you
glory.
stay in the
Everyone celebrate.
shadows.
Yeah, I won't be seen. I'll just sit and watch.
And if you like to think about it this way, these people were extremely powerful for their times. I mean, they had magic to take themselves through time. If there's any artifacts or remnants of this kingdom, it's certainly come of use to us.
Okay.
Oh no.
Magic is not going to
Worth
help
the
us
trouble,
through
I reckon now.
everything.
Trust me, I would like to stay magicless and other similar things throughout this entire journey. But we are fighting one who wants to fight the gods themselves through the exploitation of the fundamentals and of magic itself. We're not going to make
Anything
it
I
through
wanna know
this
more
if we try to stick to it with pure power. This is not something an ordinary man can achieve.
Fair. But I want to know more about that sword.
Why do you care for my sword?
Listen, if the Dark Lord is upset with it,
The
then
Dark Lord
maybe
has nothing to
you
do
can
with
use
it. It's just a sword that
It's
I
the
picked
same
up.
thing. It's the
Oh.
thing that was prophesized, right?
No, the man that wielded it, were prophesized, not the sword itself. Even then, the sword itself is quite mediocre. He doesn't even let me swing it proper.
Maybe because it knows that you're evil. At least you've done evil deeds.
Yes, of course, that's why. And that's the only reason why.
Let me guess, magically inclined, enchanted?
Yes,
Probably
that's
light, I
very
imagine.
little that we can figure out. I'm not familiar with the exact properties of it. Haven't ever really spent my time trying to research it.
The
Either
evil Dark
way,
Lord
something like
slaying
that
blade,
can
probably
scare
light
the
magic.
Dark Lord.
Oh,
Something
you're
that might be
terrifying.
useful.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but a simple blade, a simple piece of iron isn't going to make him fearful. Not even the prophecy that held it made him afraid. And may I remind you the ending of that, how that prophecy went?
Still, we have something more than just trying to find a fucking tree.
I do find it funny that we didn't actually discuss what we're going to do. We just had to explain the entire goal again. So, I think that prim and proper, our main goal should be trying to... Other than people that we need to work alongside. Items as well? Does anyone despite that?
Any idea where we'd look to get him?
I have one for a specific piece of a puzzle, but I don't know if that would be a good idea to immediately gun towards. We may need to gain our strength first.
Maybe. It's kinda why I want to head to that, dead man's kingdom. If it was as great as he said it was, and it was all beautiful and powerful, then maybe there's some shit we can steal.
Probably. I wouldn't put beyond it. Maybe the Dark Lord picked some of it up, but he wouldn't have picked up every single piece.
No. Gotta imagine he did. Sure we'll find some use in that.
Actually, I think I would have been aware if he did. No, I didn't keep an eye on the spoils after a certain point.
Well,
I think
then we
that's one
have
of
at
our
least
plans still
something.
continues. Need to find a fucking complete map. Or else I'll get a fuck ton of holes in it.
look through the books. That's all we can do.
Winged One, I didn't get your name. What happened to the other part of your mask? Do you know where it is?
Shattered.
Oh, completely so. A shame.
Back in the fight, I suppose.
What else is there for us to do? Tried to scavenge around in the meat pit up there as well, and in the library. There's nothing here. I don't know why we have to be walking in circles, or at least that's what the group wishes for it to be.
You mean here?
Yes. While we're waiting, we might as well try and do something proper, like gather some arms at that. Actually, maybe try and scavenge something off the bodies. That may be good.
Seeing as there's plenty of them.
I meant the
Perhaps
ones that we
that's
were
not a
fighting,
terrible
but
idea.
probably not those ones. Those ones are just...
No.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm not talking about whatever that is.
Yes.
So why tag along?
Simple as you all are the best bet. Do you know how often it is that a Dark Paladin is defeated?
No.
After 300 years, only one was ever defeated, to my knowledge. The one that your group did. So, if I were to ever join a group that is trying to overthrow someone, I'd wish for that group to be the one to actually do something, rather than ponder around some area and try and get themselves killed and then succeed in doing it.
I see. I guess he would be smart for believing as such, then.
Yet you sound disappointed. Or at least
I can't say I
tinge.
trust you. But that shouldn't come as any surprise.
Not at all. I'd be more surprised if you did.
Does anyone?
To that I can't say. I haven't spoken or asked. Do you trust me? Do you trust the son of the Dark Lord? Oh, do you trust the person that suspected you all to come here and was waiting to actually be on your side? Honestly, if you all trusted me right away, I wouldn't be here still. I would have left because you all would have been fools.
Again. Smart thinking. Do you not fear for someone to hold a blade to your throat?
It has happened multiple times already, not with this group, but if I were to fear that, then I wouldn't be able to leave my room. I have to
I
have a
think
big...
someday someone will prove you wrong.
About what?
Not being afraid.
Possibly. Until that day, I'll be dreadfully waiting.
Oh. So you'll expect it then?
The best way to phrase it is I've been expecting it. With having to deal with my father being who he is, I've been expecting someone to either go after me to get to him or some other sorts of that. It's only a matter of time until someone fully goes through with it. It happened
Very
once. It was a disappointing attempt at that, though. Then again, there's a few reasons as to why I have some of the abilities that I have. To avoid things like that, sneak away whenever I don't wish to deal with some brute trying to break down my door, or simply hold him in place and burn him slowly to ash.
You mean magic?
Indeed.
Or do you mean something else?
Magic, yes. If I had anything beyond magic, I think I'd be well more acquainted with the world, more abilities, more confident with myself facing half the party, if that's a egotistical thing to say.
Perhaps. So then what's your plan when he's gone?
Make sure to bury him and burn him in the darkest reaches possible so that he may never claw out. So that someone else can't revive him as their own tool. And let him rest where he deserves. And then afterwards, depending on the results of the group, either I assist further, trying to make sure things that can rebuild can, or we continue however seen fit, or what agreement we would have made at the point. I have no plans for whenever that happens. I know that one of the members here are older than even me, and remembers things that I barely remember because of my birth being the marker for it happening. Maybe revert it back to all the way back then, or maybe we just leave it as is. Time can only tell.
This world is suffering.
Indeed.
I would say if we left it as is, then perhaps everyone in it would die anyway.
Leave it as is was more towards the kingdom that they kept on talking about, how prior law was before my father.
Right.
Probably try to improve the realm. If we didn't, then we might as well just die with it, wouldn't we not?
If our efforts would be futile.
Indeed.
I suspect it will fall to anarchy.
Immediately so. And that is another reason why I say that's an intelligent way to try and place ourselves in power, however possible. With me being here, we have a rightful heir, so that allows that panic in prior law to be put to the side. Along with that, we also have the rightful ruler of this land. Whether it be for the other nations, we can figure that out as time goes.
So you're saying you'd take the throne?
Take the throne if allowed.
Hmm.
As I stated already to the other elf, I'm more than willing to give them back the elven territory while I take my mother's territory.
I see. Hmm.
Is there a reason to laugh?
Perhaps we can discuss on it some other time.
But of course, I have a feeling that we have all but time as we try to do whatever next.
Right.
Are they all sitting at the table, or where is everyone else? I swear, they all scattered like flies.
There were some up by the library if they're not all at the table.
Ah,
I believe if he makes a step of betrayal or similar, takes action to cause harm to the others around him, they'll be swiftly dealt with.
One mentioned
I don't think
that
we have
should be
anything
a
to
bit
worry.
more cohesive as a group. That means at least knowing more about each other. We don't trust each other, but know each other enough to know when we should hold one another back.
Right.
So if one does step out of line, they can be held back.
It's not
Fair
that
point.
issue.
But even if the little prince himself doesn't know, it still would be wise. For his safety, too.
I will let you know that at least as far as I'm concerned, I view everyone with a degree of caution and suspicion.
Everyone has their own demons, so to speak.
Yes. It'd be foolish not to. It's impossible to. Well, not impossible. It is not the easiest thing to gaze into someone's mind and get a solid sense of their thoughts and intentions. Often enough, you only have words to go on, and yes, they can be deceptive. But enough practice, you can often tell when they come from the heart.
Down the journey, there was someone in my old party. They were tall, bulky man like you. They could speak, and I did at least see their face, so I know they're a man. But I'm certain a lot of people also probably thought they might be some secret undead or king lich or mage of some kind. They always did have a mysterious vibe to them, but at the end of the day, they were a man like you and I. I suppose in a way why it's very comforting to be around you. I guess since I haven't seen your face yet, it's like you're still here in some odd way.
ah.
Some vague memory of the past in living form. Or maybe I'm just rambling to a walking carcass, Steven. Well, suppose. Thank you for listening. Have any? And how long were you listening?
Just for a moment, not for long.
Well,
Nothing to fear. Everyone else is in the
Nothing really
library
to
trying to
fear.
Everyone else is up in the library trying to figure out what they're going to do with me. Or at least as some last resort for if I decide to betray you all and stab you in your sleep.
Can you blame us?
No, not at all. As I stated this once before and I'll say it again. If you all didn't act like this, I would have left already. You actually are intelligent, you actually are smart, you're not trusting, and that is good in this world. Yet pardon me if I don't wish to be sitting around while you all plan how to kill me if everything else fails.
If you really... Oh. the ilk of the Dark Lord. Why be beyond just your vague daddy issues that you've said about a few times?
As I stated already, he's ruled for far too long, and you see what he's done to the world. You all are the best choice to put any points into if I were to phrase it as that. Do you know what happened to the last group that had the best choice?
Died.
Yes, but that was because they also didn't defeat the paladins, or any of them. You all are already one step ahead of them.
Well, we're making progress, I suppose.
Indeed.
So, what exactly happens if you return? Does your father like you?
What do you mean?
Well, you clearly seem to want to have his head in your hand next time you meet. How does he feel towards your existence?
He forgot about me after an event happened. He engraved my skin with runes to make it so I don't age, and if there were wounds, I heal. And afterwards, he went on his little war about the world even further. Now he's going beyond that and going towards the Ascended Ones next. I don't doubt that he's forgotten about me at some of those points.
Why is he doing all this?
Do you wish for the honest answer? That'll make you spiral into depression, or do you wish for a false one? One that may think that you are... Everything actually makes more sense.
There is literally nothing you can tell me about this man's aspirations that would possibly make me forgive anything done unto me.
True resurrection.
Don't tell me the story's as cliche as I think.
I'm not going to elaborate, but that's his goal. Figure out something to properly do that.
You're kidding me. That's it? An aspiration of the common man, the things that drive many to insanity. That's it? True resurrection?
There may be more reasons underneath the surface that he never told me. But that was the one that he did tell me. The same reason why I joined his side for a few of those years.
Almost too stupid to believe that's all. A
Then
man
he-
who's done everything, and all he wants is to revive something. Unbelievable. Makes me oddly more motivated to know his intentions are as stupid as that. I strike a nerve.
No,
Was I missing some...
it's just a
What
line
was
once
for?
again. You said it yourself. Everything that he does is useless. No real point as to it. And yet he wishes to fight the very Ascended Ones, to find that answer of true resurrection.
I doubt the full picture would make me feel any better or worse, to be honest.
And like I said, if you wish for the One to make you feel better. One day he just snapped and wanted the world gone.
No,
Does that make you feel better?
trust me. I care not for whatever the full picture is. There's nothing that could have possibly happened to him that would make me forget what he's done to me.
And to that I can agree.
I'm gonna go talk with him about the plotting how to kill you, okay?
Good luck.
We weren't talking about that.
You literally heard what you all were talking about.
No.
I may have embellished it a small bit.
You sure do like embellishing.
Oh yeah. Yes, it makes the ordinary sound interesting. Is that much of an issue?
Does that mean you embellish yourself?
You're lucky that I need you.
I don't know how you can feel comfortable sitting around this.
I don't.
Horns. Seems like a waste to decorate the chairs with horns, too.
Big one. Do you actually not speak, or is that an optional one? Do you even understand what I'm saying? Is there any way to communicate with you, or are you just some golem underneath that pile of rock? Not even able to make a sound. Then I'll leave you to your moping, whatever you wish to call yourself, sitting here.
Hey. Your father's magic. You're certain he might have not placed any runes on you?
To what
Or
extent?
anything of
Tracking?
concern?
The only runes I'm aware of keep my age and regenerate me over time.
That's it.
Yes. He didn't wish for me to die of natural causes, much less unnatural. And he knows that I'm skilled enough to not get my head cut off.
If there is anything that you have yet to see, maybe we should see if there's something to check on.
Yes, however would that
We don't know if you're being followed or not.
Do you know how
And
few
if we're
people...
going to the essence of life,
Look at me and listen to this. Who do you think, other than my father, would not listen to my orders from his army? One word and they'd be decapitated or worse. And do you know what my father's doing right now? Not wasting his time with people like us after he already stole one of your strongest members.
whom even was that member?
Hell if I know.
What do
I
you
never
know of
actually
him?
spoke to him. I saw him a singular time before I left the castle. For all I know at the moment, he's the one trying to make the link, breaking beyond the shackles of this realm. breaking through to the other one, up to the Ascended Ones. I don't know. I stopped talking to Father after a bit, and he rarely spoke to me of his own volition. So you're asking me if I know what he does. I know that he kills people. I know that he hurts them. Beyond that, you're my guest at guessing.
You are quite angry with him, it definitely seems like it.
Oh, yes. I am so unangry at someone that I wish to kill. I am so beyond normal with him. Such a shame that I do wish him dead.
Does this anger truly stem from personal
Watch your
grievances
tongue
or
before I cut it
familial
off at this
issues?
point. Honestly, I'm getting annoyed by everything that you're trying to spout into. You're stretching yourself thin. You're trying to watch over all of us because you failed once. And I already know that you're going to fail again at defending the people that you quote-unquote care about.
You think I care for them?
Why else do you give names beyond fondness? My guess is your tribe is now burned to the ash. No longer existing. And now you're somehow trying to figure out how to get back to it. Get back to that normalcy that you oh so desire.
You really think you can read me like that?
It's such an obvious answer.
Or is
It's
that an answer
very-
that you yourself crafted?
No. Only time will tell whenever you fail the next time, so you start complaining more. Falling into yourself, falling into madness. Now, are you going to leave me alone, or what are you going to do? Are you going to try and act like you know how to read people beyond yourself, not barely able to understand how ironwork works? You don't even know how magic works, much less the human mind. Now leave me be for a bit.
The only reason I've been keeping an eye on you is because you can easily be a threat or a problem to your
Yes.
own self.
So you prove my point correct in that you try and act like you are looking out for other people, just to distract yourself from your own issues, whether it be the loss of your tribe, the loss of your children, or whatever else.
Didn't you lose something?
None that you should care for. If anyone didn't lose something, then they wouldn't exist now, would they? Life is loss.
You'll understand in time, little prince.
Hold your tongue for a moment longer. I don't care for your words there now. I don't need to listen to you right now. I already told you the case. Not yours, it's mine. So scatter like you should, you moth. Moth. to the Get on out. I don't need to hear you right now. Come on, be gone. Still scrubbling about. Still trying to fight. I already got you out today. And I don't need to do it again. Come on, get out now. I need you gone. You may be able to listen, but I didn't say that you could interact now, did I? You are not taking this body. Not today. Not tomorrow. Come on. Get out now. Good. You know to listen. Better than you did the other day. Better than you did the other month. Shadow steps. So I'm able to.
Prince over there says we're doing the best so far of anybody.
Must be doing something right then.
Suppose they would rather know.
I forget if they
I
ever
just have
mentioned
good
in the
idea.
dream. Did they ever say we're some sort of chosen ones, or we're really all that's left?
It's been a moment since I can remember exactly what they said, but it came off to me more like, you're all we have to pick from, rather than, you are fated to be the one to solve this.
Indeed.
I was trying to remember. I assumed that was the case, but so
Oh.
long now. I was more concerned about actually seeing the Dark Lord in person than, the rest of it was a bit hazy.
That certainly was a sight, huh? Reminds me. I wonder how the wizard is doing. If he's even left him alive.
With it.
Lucian, when he came here, he had 2 other assailants. Rain, we've met, the Dragonkin, the Smith, and another. A wizard who managed to actually cast the spell to bring them forward to this moment in time. Maybe it's only through him that we actually managed to get this far. His magic was comparable to God's.
Interesting.
And I suppose that's why the Dark Lord took such interest in him. After we managed to kill the Dark Paladin, the Dark Lord themselves came to us. We laughed at our mere existence, found it humorous that we even thought to raise a hand against him, and sought interest in that page of our party, and took him. And I'm not certain what happened.
Well, that's troubling.
We haven't seen or heard from him since, so best to assume he's probably dead. Save us the trouble, unfortunately.
I suppose it's best to think that way. Then what if the Dark Lord might have plotted otherwise?
Certainly hope they weren't bent to their will.
I'd rather not think to fight him.
Me neither. The bastard was a really capable mage.
I say. Best be prepared for that outcome then, potentially. Regardless, I'm sure the Dark Lord
entire
is.
party at one point to minuscule size so we could jump up off the thing together.
I say.
He's capable of dropping meteors on his foes. Fire spells I'd never seen before, and some of the best healing amongst the party.
Obviously, with extreme
Only-
backlash, though. But
Yes.
the Dark Lord deems it so. He'll find a way around it.
There are certainly ways around. That's
That
troubling.
Paladin.
Ah.
If I've learned anything from that fight, is you fight anyone that serves under the Dark Lord, make sure to keep looking up every now and again. Those bastards love to summon shit from the sky to crush someone.
Good to know.
Resistance doing? I've yet to hear from it. I'm sure it's fine. I left my people in charge there. God. Come on, you're a super fucking evil necromancer. You got of anything useful? Alright, heavy question. I need honest answers. So, say we do this. We win. We beat the Dark Lord. Any of you intending to steal some shit from him? His throne? Any power?
Not quite. No.
Not interested.
It's disappointing. Not the stealing, just this scenario.
Killing him? You disappointed in the idea of finally putting him dead?
No. You do realize your people, the people you've gathered out, has been heard around. You are a hope to the people. And we're grasping at straws.
Faith in us. I've got no interest in becoming another Dark Lord if that's your concern. That seems like a lot of work.
Use that faith and become empowered by it. Then you are finally strong. People will listen once they start realizing it.
I kind of built a career out of people fearing me. The more scared they are that I show up, the easier my job is.
Alright. Let's put it out there then, and for curiosity. Let's say you do succeed. We all succeed. Vanquishing the Dark Lord. Understand about afterwards. What exactly do you envision for yourself?
I grab a certain something of his, and then no one ever sees me again.
Certain something.
Can we at least expect a letter?
Depends if I'm feeling nice.
Come on, after all we've been through, I don't get to ever see you. Well, I suppose you're doing me messy, huh?
Never thought you so maybe she'll convince me otherwise. She might want to see you.
You people really should stop saying if. It's when.
Positivity and thought.
I have been told that you are the last chance.
It is good to be hopeful, but there's only so much you can do before it starts to sound like childish whimsy. The very fact we're still standing, traveling, attempting to kill the man, I think, is probably good faith enough. At some point it just becomes moral pushing.
Well, you know what, John? If you want to put it all on the table, the thing I want from the Dark Lord is his soul. I take his soul, and I'm gone. If you want to see me, sure, you can come see me. If you never want to see me again, all the better.
What are you planning with it? To go in the book?
Yeah.
Still keeping that to your chest?
What have you?
It's wrong the bush. Me?
Oh, who?
Myself? Or him? Thank you.
I know my fingers are fat, but please.
So a little large.
I suppose I haven't really thought of any sort of post goal. I mean, I admit, starting out, this felt more like a fun way to meet an end than a real actual goal. I know people wouldn't forgive me if I were to just simply draw this through my chest. But I suppose, should we see the other end of all it?
When we.
When we see the end of all of it. I think it'd be nice to continue this. This whole journey is sort of, I guess, been what I've done. As stupid as it all might be, it has given me a sense of purpose again. I don't think I'd like to stop doing it. After the Dark Lord, I'll just find another target. And maybe some allies to do it with. Whoever might not want to stick around. What can I say? Old habits die hard.
If you ever drop those morals of yours, you can come join me. Work at my people.
I don't know. I guess the money would be nice.
Trying to make them do
But
things
how
for good
big
as well. Not just taking every single target on they can. But you would still be killing people in cold blood. Usually the morally corrupt
Because if I
is kind
got
of the
killed.
idea. But
What
Suppose I
have you,
wouldn't
Raven?
mind, though, depending on your exact boundaries. Doesn't sound like the worst way to continue after it all.
I have a goal.
Yes, I suppose so. For all I wouldn't be here. But I
After it all.
can't quite begin until the plate is cleared, let us say. I'll have to get rid of the Dark Lord. Then maybe things can be done. What would I like, however? I think maybe peace. For myself, for others. A certain simplicity.
Doesn't sound like a bad goal to me. I want us to think of some grander idea of what to do after it all. Well, just having the ability to think of something to do in the future is more than anyone can afford right now.
Indeed.
It'd be nice to have a choice in life for once.
I suppose there's always a choice, isn't there? At least in some measure.
Well, to most
Some of the
it's
outcomes,
traditional
though.
death.
Yes.
I guess we've managed to find a third option, or at least sometime.
seems peaceful.
Oh, then I'll toss it right back. What of you, Kamar? Dark Lord Vanquish, what do you do with yourself?
The end of Rothwell.
I see.
That place destroyed, in turn with the Dark Lord.
And when all the destruction is done,
I may finally die.
I see.
That's the end goal.
Well, I certainly hope you find peace in your doing so.
The world needs a new era and peace. It does not need what happened with the Dark Lord, nor with the damned city.
Hmm.
Even now, I still can't stop hearing them. Well, I can agree with you there. It certainly is a despicable place.
Low points and high points. We'll be reaching a high point soon enough.
Soon enough. Hmm.
This is our low point, right? So we'll be
I
reaching a
don't
high
know if
point
this
soon
is
enough.
the lowest.
I suppose we can look at it as a high point. The low is the fighting. You've made it out. No death. At least that's my better way of looking at things on the bright side.
Agreed. It's a triumph, not a defeat. Prices were paid, yes. Suffering, of course, was paid. A lot of doubts and aches and pains and other things, but it's not that bad. All things considered. We're still alive. Our friends aren't bound to servitude to some asshole who took up residence in a hole. I'd say that's a win.
And we're closer to that tree lady. Closer to the goal.
Right.
Lovely.
We have yet to speak about who is going to take on whatever that is.
We don't know.
Power that they give.
We should deal with it when we get there. Doubt it's going to be an easy thing. Power comes with a price.
It's
Usually
quite
terrible
natural
prices.
to give it to Ravna, but she didn't marry.
Ugh.
Yoda is
Ah,
pretty
yes, she
used
could be.
the essence of nature. She grew up in the face of Finland as they spoke. And she seemed pretty ecstatic to go on the switch over to meet the spirits. Should she really make the sacrifice, a silly as well? I see no better person to receive it.
I have no idea what's going to be offered either, but that's worth considering.
Hey, if she can mend wounds better, that would definitely help us. I mean, goddess of whatever, mother of life, right?
Thank you. You certainly did a lot for me.
Are you not able to enchant another dagger of sorts?
Could, but I need the cost of it. The last one that we used required the soul of that dog. Though, as you can imagine, it's not exactly that easy. But if anyone has I don't know, 2 limbs they did want to give up or something, then sure, I can make a second.
No,
Oh
you can go
boy.
fuck yourself on that one.
Fair enough. I'd be more worried if anyone was willing.
I feel like the prince with the flower in, or little king with the flower in his hair would be more willing, which is not a good thing.
Doubtful. You can probably regenerate limbs you don't have time, but if you do that as part of an enchantment, they won't come back no matter what. It takes the essence of your soul, the past and the veins that connect through those limbs to make the enchantment. There's no way of cheating.
We have yet to see if that king can or cannot, so just don't give up. Don't give the offer to him. All right,
Please.
I'm gonna go and try and cross a fucking bridge of steel rope.
Have fun.
Sounds delightful.
Try to wander too far.
I'm just heading back up. The
Fair
more we
enough.
wait on this, the
That's-
more we're going to
I would ask you
destroy
3,
ourselves.
out of curiosity, what your aims were at the end of all things, but I don't wish to interrupt any somberly chosen silence, while we all prattle on.
We're not interrupting anything. We're the ones who came in here first. Well, to you, I suppose.
You kill nobles, right?
That's a conversation starter.
Also peasants. Anyone for money,
We've never been one
This
really
conversation
easy.
started as a need, I suppose.
Yes,
this is
hey,
done.
you kill nobles.
I have a few people you might want. Try your hand
You
at.
murder people. Yeah, I found some
I
great
want to
murder
murder
victims.
some nobles, at the very least.
I have a location to their very treasury.
Hello there, killer. I
Aston.
have a list of unlikables.
And this is his job. He is something of a bounty hunter. I guess it's the closest thing to a business transaction
Good
he's
luck
had in a
trying to
while.
get past the rope. Or chain rope thing.
Ever been to Aston?
I have no.
We actually went there
Yeah.
once before.
Oh,
On this journey initially. This group has.
Plenty of nobles there. Plenty of other vampires, too.
Well, we didn't exactly venture into the main city. Couldn't really get into the insects of the country. And as you can imagine, pretty much everywhere. But the main centrifuge was, well, literally rotting. A paladin looked over the kingdom. And the first towns we wandered into were all literally falling apart at the seams. It wasn't very hard to find the courtesy of those living there, considering they were all about starving to death. That seems to be about the way that most places are heading anyways. You're not in the main subjugated city of a given country, you might as well just die. This whole world is turning into the city of a please.
yes. It does seem that way.
Well, I guess it makes it easier to get people on our side.
Perhaps.
well-defined conversation.
That's quite alright.
Norman used to other people starting it. But who might interrupt a good session of brooding? I suppose I can't really blame anyone after what's happened.
To be honest, I spend most of my time before I
What's
join
up,
the
Zeke?
party talking to myself and brooding, so long days and nights of it. It's a pleasure to be able to talk to someone who actually talks back.
I'm here. Oh,
Yes.
good many years I spent to myself, so I suppose that's why I have this sudden transition to being a bit more of a spoken one. It's been so long on your own, avoiding the company of others. You start to desperately want.
That is the way it goes, isn't it?
Plus, it just helps drown out other things, to vocally let out your words, rather than
What's the
brood in your own
truth?
mind. Actually, if you'd have a moment before we make our leave, it would be good to speak on certain things that go on in your head. You have the time.
I could try. Yes.
Whenever you wish to depart from this, I'll be up by the throne.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
good to survey things.
I'll follow in a moment. I suppose I should now.
I had
Apologies,
enough.
by the way,
I've harassed these
regarding
people
any
enough.
difficult situation I might have put you in. The concoction I gave you, I was hoping was distilled enough that it would not bear traces to myself. My understanding is that you recently underwent your trials. So it was ignorant on my part. I'm familiar with vampires and what they... Well, I'm familiar with some of them. Everyone's a different person, after all.
Soul magic.
How did you figure I would...
Are you going to do anything other than soul magic in here?
I was informed.
I understand that your entire thing was necromancy, but I thought that there would be something else for once.
I'm familiar with trials. Also that I've heard.
It definitely wasn't my choice.
Some things rarely are. But you're here, you're alive. Man speaking. I do not view vampires as less than humans, or greater, whatever. My views on such are quite different than mine.
Nothing but
I'll try not to bore you.
soul magic.
But
Soul magic.
You aren't
A
born
failed
with
practice in this one, isn't it? Yes.
I'm just
Torn.
brooding, I guess. Trying to figure things out.
of course, there's much to figure out. And it's always good to spend time doing so.
You know what? I might sign off here because I am just really tired today. Plus the last interactions are pretty much wrapping up, so yeah, I won't force myself in that. I'm pretty sure almost everyone else is wrapped up. Yeah. So they're going to be teleported out any moment now. But either way, thank you guys for stopping by. Tuesday we have part 2, our arc 2 of Rosewood officially starting up a bit more. Really excited for that. I gotta write down my downtime whenever I can. So yes. Make sure to stop by on Tuesday. On Wednesday, there might be a bit of a surprise for you guys, depending on how I am going to be feeling. I do need to wrap up a model for said thing. But beyond that, yeah. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. This week's... Oh, God, what the fuck? What the fuck? Huh? Why is there a whole ass green crystal up here? Why you got hot sauce in yet, Gus? Oh, maybe that's how they have it marked down for teleporting stuff? Either way. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We'll be coming back on Tuesday. And we will... Tuesday, Wednesday, then Friday, and not Saturday yet, but... Yeah. Oh, boy. I hope everyone had a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you!